Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment.
That one's driven deep to left field. Going back, Hicks. Turning, looking, see ya.
Really bent, really good.
Drill deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Drill deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Today is Monday, July 3rd, and it was the beginning of a crucial four-game set between the Orioles and the Yankees. Domingo German was on the mound, and he was trying to see if history could repeat itself. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
What a game. What a game. As I said in the intro, this is a very important series for the New York Yankees. They come in trailing Baltimore in the standings, and they were able to pick up a game tonight. So a big, big win. Lot to talk about tonight. We had 4 2/3 scoreless innings from the bullpen tonight. Outstanding job by the Yankees bullpen. Had Domingo going for back-to-back no-hitters. Obviously, didn't get it. We had the return of Aaron Hicks to Yankee Stadium, and the fans were all over him, even booed the tribute video. We had Volpe swing the bat very well. He continues to get better and better, and this is what we told you would happen. He's going to continue to get more confident with success. He almost hit 2 home runs tonight. Swing looks great. Playing with a ton of energy. You love watching it. And then you had a couple of hard hit balls by Giancarlo Stanton tonight. Sorry, hit the microphone there. And Harrison Bader with an enormous 3-run home run. And that sealed the deal. But the story coming into tonight was Domingo German making his first appearance since throwing a perfect game. Can't believe how quick this trip through the rotation has gone. And he was okay. He was obviously not perfect. A lot of times after a pitcher has a game like that, the next outing is a bit of a letdown. And I think that was definitely the case tonight. He wasn't awful, but, gave up 9 hits in 4 1/3 innings. Pete Rose, who himself, has one of the more unbreakable records, said that the most unbreakable record is Johnny Vandermeer's 2 no-hitters in a row. Because to beat that, you've either got to throw 3 no-hitters in a row or you got to throw 2 perfect games in a row. Mark Burley actually came close with 2 perfect games. I think he went maybe 5th or 6th inning in the second game. But I don't think either one of them is ever going to happen in the modern game. Domingo actually got my hopes up in the first inning that, maybe we would see some history. 1, 2, 3 first inning, and I was having flashbacks to Tim McCarver in 2000. So Roger Clemens had dominated the Mariners in the ALCS, and then he came out against the Mets, and in the first inning, he looked fantastic, and Tim McCarver said, the stuff is still there, and I had the same feeling about Domingo tonight. The curveball was phenomenal, but again, hit too many bats. I think he used up a lot of energy last time out. I think it would have been a smart move of the Yankees to give him an extra day off. I know he only threw 99 pitches, but the last probably 40 pitches were extremely stressful. You see a lot of guys have injury problems after they throw a no-hitter or come close to a no-hitter. So, hey, at least he made it through it without any kind of injuries or anything like that. But didn't pitch great. Hopefully he'll, be better next time out. So, funny play in the second inning. Domingo actually picked a runner off of second base. And because the runner was diving in and his vision was probably blurred a little bit, he grabbed onto Anthony Volpe's white shoe, thinking that it was the base. I have never seen that before. When he dove back in, he grabbed Anthony Volpe's shoe. And then he looked at the umpire, like waiting for the call. It's like, don't you realize you're holding a shoe? Isn't the fact that it's foot-shaped kind of a dead giveaway?
The price is wrong, bitch.
Unbelievable. Oh. According to Michael Kay, and this happened during the commercial, we didn't get to see it, but there, if you were in the stadium, let us know in the comments for sure. Between innings, they played an Aaron Hicks tribute video, and when it was over, the fans booed. The fans absolutely booed an Aaron Hicks tribute video. I love New York. Orioles got 2 runs in the 3rd inning. IKF had a tough night in left field. There was a play that kind of short-hopped, and then there was a play at the wall that he didn't really play the carom very well. I think he was going for the catch, couldn't quite get it. Just an ugly night. He's learning out there. He's never really played the outfield before this season, so there's going to be nights like this, but at large, he's done an okay job as an outfielder. Domingo was done after 4 1/3 innings. He allowed 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Worth noting that Volpe just missed a home run early in this game. I believe it was the 3rd inning. But Aaron Hicks ran it down in Death Valley. Probably a home run in about 20 Major League ballparks. I don't have the data behind that. I'm sure there's something that exists. Somebody could maybe look it up. But he hit the crap out of it, and Hicks ran it down. Also, I thought that he had good at-bats all night, Volpe. It looked like he was seeing the ball well. If you watch the replays, his eyes get real big as the ball is coming in, kind of like Mark Teixeira used to. Some guys aren't like that, but you can see he really is focusing on that baseball. Bottom of the 5th, Volpe finally did turn on one and smoked it into the left field seats.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
11th home run of the season. It was a hanging slider, and he demolished it. Next batter was Kyle Higashioka, and he followed up with a home run himself. Nice piece of hitting. Giancarlo Stanton almost tied it up in the 6th inning. He drilled one off the top of the wall. Rizzo followed up with a walk, but both runners were stranded. Josh Donaldson popped out to end the inning. Donaldson 0 for 3, now hitting 131. Unreal. And then should be noted, Nick Ramirez did a really nice job out of the bullpen tonight. Retired all 5 batters he faced. I almost said struck out all 5 batters he faced. He struck out 2, but he's got a 1.69 ERA. He's been low-key been fantastic. Bottom 7, IKF led things off with a single. Volpe followed up with his 2nd hit of the game. That put his average up to 226. He passed DJ LeMahieu, who was 0 for 4. He's hitting 221 now. So Volpe on the rise. Higashioka bunted both runners into scoring position. DJ bounced one back at Cano, and they got IKF going home on contact. Seems like the Yankees run into outs at home a lot, especially on that play where you got 2nd and 3rd and less than 2 outs. They seem to hit it back to the pitcher a lot. I don't have a lot of data on that. I just feel like I've seen it a lot of times. They tend to hit into the worst outcome possible way more often than you think they should. But Volpe ended up scoring on a wild pitch. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Giancarlo got things going. Line drive single off of Cano. Second ball that he actually absolutely smoked on the day. I think he might be starting to come out of it a little bit. Still does not look very mobile to me. Time to go mobile. But if he can just start hitting the ball hard, that's all we need. I don't need him to be outstanding in right field. I don't need him to be fast on the bases. All we need is for him to figure it out and start smoking the baseball again. Rizzo singled, and then Harrison Bader with one of the biggest swings of the Yankees season so far.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Most impressive.
Huge, game-changing 3-run home run. Energy in the stadium was phenomenal. Clay Holmes came in to shut things down in the 9th, and the Yankees take Game 1 of the series.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Cruise Control says bullpen saved the day. I definitely I definitely thought about giving the bullpen a belt today. You know, the home run from Bader was too huge, though. A lot of candidates. Volpe, obviously a big game. Giancarlo hitting the ropes, but the man of the hour is Mr. Harrison Bader.
Most impressive.
Love it, love it. Andrew says Rodon debut expected on Friday. Finally, absolutely, can't wait to see it. So Friday night, I'll be on NYY News TV doing the watch party with Pete. And then right afterwards, we're both going to jump on NYY Recaps, and we're going to recap the game, just do the key takeaways, talk about it. It's going to be an entire night of Carlos Rodon. I hope he doesn't get knocked out after 2/3 of an inning, because that would ruin the whole thing. But I'm predicting he's going to have a good night. He seems amped up. Everything that we've seen from him in terms of highlights in the minor leagues looks like the stuff is there, especially the slider. The slider looks very sharp. And he's a guy who has one of those overpowering kind of fastballs. So, you know, can't wait to see what he does. Huge win for the Yankees. Pasha Noble says, how long before Josh Donaldson is shown the door? I hear the Mets might be interested in him. Oh, he said Mutts. I see what you did there. I see what you did. I don't think that the Mets are actually interested in him. I don't think anybody's interested in him, or the Yankees would have moved him, because you don't need to get anything for him. You know, you just want to unload the salary. He is hitting 131 with a 623 OPS. We might as well go look at the box score. But before we get to the box score, let me tell you about the Game Time app. In case you don't follow this show very often, they are now the official easy for me to say, official sponsor of NYY Recaps all season long. Every single game, they will sponsor the box score segment, which we are going to pull up right now, if I can find the right button to show you over there. Things are a little bit different because I had Pete on, and so I have a changed my layout a little bit. But yeah, Game Time, last minute tickets, all sorts of events, whether it's sports, you know, baseball, basketball, football, you know, concerts, theater, comedy, you name it. You can find it on Game Time. They have weather prevention. So if something, you know, if the game gets rained out or whatever, get your money back. And if you use the code NYY Recaps, you get $20 off your first purchase. And you can see where your seats are. You see the view from your seats. It's very cool. Check it out. Lowest price on last minute tickets guaranteed. Ron Bees says, DFA Donaldson, he is dead weight. So we were talking about Donaldson when we pulled up the box score, which I'll go through in a second. But I think he's probably got a week at best to get something going. After the All-Star break, if he is not hitting, I think you're going to have to see them DFA him. Or, I mean, DFA him is really the only option unless he decides to retire, which I can't see him retiring and voluntarily giving up however many million dollars he's going to get over the next couple of months. It might be one of those situations where he decides to retire, but the Yankees DFA him like they did with A-Rod and like they did with Mark Teixeira. It happens. But look, time is undefeated, and when I see Donaldson, I see a guy who's still got that, you know, that power punch. He can still go deep, but he doesn't have the reaction time to hit a good fastball most of the time. And so he ends up guessing, and he gets fooled a lot. So you'll see him looking breaking ball, and he'll take a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Or you'll see him looking fastball and get absolutely fooled by a breaking ball. Look, it happens. That's baseball. But, you know, hopefully he gets it going and starts hitting, or the Yankees replace him. One or the other has to happen. We just can't let what's going on stand. DJ 0 for 4, worth noting. He is at 221 now, awful. Torres 0 for 4, hitting 245. Stanton, couple of hits. He's off the interstate. He's hitting 205. Cabrera came in to pinch run and play right field. You know, I originally had Cabrera as my pick for this series because he had a decent last couple of games in St. Louis. I think he had 3 hits, and, you know, he looked good. And I thought, you know, maybe the Yankees would give him some more at-bats, but was not the case this evening. Rizzo 1 for 3. Bader 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, hitting .261. Donaldson, we talked about. Kiner Falefa, Volpe, and Higashioka all with 2 hits. Volpe now hitting .225. Also Higgy hitting .225. You need to get some of these averages up. I mean, just plain and simple. Got to get these. These are rookie numbers. Got to get better numbers than that. Eli says 5 innings for Carlos Rodon, no more than 80 pitches. That sounds about right, coming back. Hoodie says, given his injuries, would you extend Bader? It's an excellent question. I don't have an answer for you yet. I need more data. I got to see what happens. If he doesn't get injured between now and the end of the season and then continues to hit in the playoffs like last season, I think it's a no-brainer that you sign him. But if he has another IL trip, I think you have to say no. He's a guy that plays the game very, very hard. And sometimes you got to tone it down a little bit. Because when you're going all out all the time, you get hurt. And you don't want guys to take their concentration off or dog it. We're just saying that, like, if it's an 8-1 game, there's no reason to slam yourself into a wall, right? Play the carom. There are times to be smart about it. And hopefully these injuries have been a wake-up call. But one thing that concerns me, it's things like hamstrings and obliques, soft tissue injuries. And usually guys who have those tend to get them a lot. I think of Giancarlo and his legs. I think of Jacoby Ellsbury and his everything. Dr. Hitskin says, I see softball beer league in Donaldson's future. Yeah, he would be excellent at hitting a softball, man, with that big leg kick. And, the way he hits the ball so high in the air. Yeah, he'd probably make a good living at some of those softball home run hitting competitions. I don't know if they have rules in those where you can't be like a former Major League Baseball player. Otherwise, why wouldn't Barry Bonds just go to all of them and just win everything just for fun? I would. Pashta says, DJ is washed, hit 3 ground balls, has no bat speed left. I feel like it's partially age, like it's partially that he's, like, as you would say, washed up. But I think injuries have taken their toll on him too. You know what I mean? Like, he's a guy who's been hurt so much the last few years. He's got the foot injury. He's had all sorts of stuff. He had I believe he had a wrist issue at one point. These things add up. And you hate to see it because he's been such a great Yankee. But you can't keep hitting him in the leadoff spot. But right now, I mean, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? Maybe Volpe in the leadoff spot? He's been swinging the bat great. Maybe IKF been swinging the bat great. I don't know. I don't know what you do, but the Yankees got to get more hits. More hits. Tonight, 11 hits, and look what happened. You win the game. You score 6 runs. You can't keep getting 4 and 5 hits a night. And going into I think it was probably the 6th inning, I think they had 2 hits. Anyway. Eli says he loves Dominguez, but would trade for Soto. So there is a piece from Foul Territory this afternoon maybe, where Ken Rosenthal speaks on the Juan Soto trade rumors. And he unequivocally said Juan Soto will not be traded from the Padres. Padres are not looking to unload. They're looking to add. They're not going to trade Soto. So, you can say, I would love to have Soto. He makes such a huge difference. It's a pipe dream. It's just not going to happen. The Yankees need to look at doing a move kind of like the Nomar move in 2003, where they traded Garcia Parra and they traded a couple other guys, and they ended up getting like a shortstop back. They got Minkiewicz. They got they patched a lot of holes on the team. The Yankees need to do that. They need to get a solid left fielder to carry them through the season. They need to open up a spot, maybe for Rortvedt to step in or Peraza to step in. I could see them making a move where they deal, if it's not Higashioka, maybe it's Trevino. You deal a couple of prospects and you go get a decent left fielder. You let your prospects take over at the catching position, at the third base position. inject some youth and some life. We'll see. I mean, look how great Volpe is starting to do. When these young players get going, it's so much fun to watch. Wouldn't you love to have a couple of more of them going? Rortvedt, Peraza. I don't think Florial's going to happen. I think it's pretty evident that the organization doesn't think very highly of him and that the numbers won't translate. But, hey, got to get something going.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Take a couple more comments. Lord Raiden likes Bowers in the leadoff spot. You know, Bowers is not bad in the leadoff spot.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Lorenzo says McKinney hasn't been playing either. McKinney has kind of slowed down a little bit after that hot start. Ron Bees thinks that IKF would be the ideal leadoff spot or leadoff man going forward. Only problem with IKF is he doesn't really walk very much. So he's never going to have a high on-base percentage, but he definitely gets hits. Like, he's a contact guy. I actually kind of like IKF as the number 9 hitter. You know, I would go right now, the way the Yankees are presently constructed, Volpe leading off, probably Rizzo batting second, probably Bader batting third. And, I mean, man, after that, it's just all crap. It's just all crap right now. Donaldson. I mean, I don't know. They need something. Because I was like, where would I hit LeMahieu? It's like, well, he's won for his last million. You know, where will I hit Donaldson? He's hitting 131. So, I mean, honestly, they just might need to make a couple of changes to the roster over there. All right, guys. We're going to call it a night. Obviously, a big win for the Yankees. Big home run for Mr. Harrison Bader. And tomorrow's the 4th of July. I am undecided if I'm going to do a show. If the Yankees win, I might hop on and do something real quick. We got some friends and family coming over, and so it's going to be tough for me to get away. But I am going to watch the game, so I will try, if something extraordinary happens, to do a show. But I might not schedule it until like the 6th or 7th inning. So check in about the 7th inning, and if you see something like, you know, one of these pre-show, thumbnails where it's like, you know, notify me, then you know I'll be live. But I'm giving Frankie, the highlight guy, the day off, so there might not be much in the way of highlights. But I will see you guys when I see you.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.